If you recall last week in class, the last question on our Excel quiz was, what would you rather have? $1 million, or would you rather wait and be patient and get 1 penny doubled every day for 30 days? Which one would you rather have? Well, let's take a look. If we were to figure this out, remember we said a spreadsheet is all about money. So let's go ahead and figure out how to do that. First of all, a couple things that I've already done. I've already put a title in there. As far as typing in a cell, it'll allow you to change the font, make it bold, change the size and everything else. One thing that really confuses people is look at the title that I have here. It's in A1. If I click on A1, you'll see it. It appears right up in here. This is called the formula bar. But notice it looks like it's actually in all the way over to G1, but it's not. It's all in the one cell. Watch, if I click on cell B1, watch what happens to the formula bar. This box is called the formula bar. There's nothing in there. That's because even though these words appear to be in the box, they're just overflowing from A1. So they're not really in the box. Okay, so we've set up a spreadsheet. We have in column A, we're going to have our days. In column B, we're going to have the amount that we're given. All right, and column C would be the amount that's accumulated. So we're going to do this two different ways. The amount given can be $1 amount, which would be, for example, 1 penny, and then on day 2 it's 2 pennies, and then on day 3 it's 4 pennies. Okay, that's one value. The amount accumulated would be on day 1 you have 1 penny, and on day 2 you have 2 pennies. But if we add the penny from the previous day, really on day 3 we have 3 cents. See how that goes? So we're going to have two different values that we're calculating. One of the nice things about Excel, and to me it's still a little bit of magic, as soon as you start typing in certain values and they have a discernible pattern, Excel can pick up on that and apply that. So instead of having to type all the way down to day 30, what I can do is it recognizes there is a pattern here. So notice when I click on this cell, I have a little heavy dot right there in the bottom right hand corner, and watch how my plus changes. That means what I can do is I can select, click and drag that dot all the way down, and it will fill using that pattern. Okay, now on day 2, another thing that I did was I changed our cell format so that it would recognize that we're using money. Different cells can be formatted different ways. So in order to do that, what I did was I selected my cells, and then I used my right mouse button, click on Format Cells, and then I want to go over here to Number. And actually, I'm sorry, Currency. And I want to make sure that there's the $sign and 2 decimal places, which is what money does. So on day 2 we have, right, on day 3 we have 4 cents. Now notice this. What we're really doing here is we're taking the previous day and we're doubling it. So with that we can make a formula. So what I'm going to do is, and if you remember from the quiz, what we have to do is we have to type equals to say that a formula is coming. And what do we do each time? We multiply the previous day's value. Now notice I'm not going to put 4 cents in there. I'm actually going to click on B5 because that's what I want. I want the variable. And to double it, we multiply it by 2. All right, now there's our formula right here, B5 times 2. Excel is smart enough to know that if I were to click on this and drag it down, it's going to keep 2 as 2, but it's going to update B5 to B6, to B7, to B8 as it goes down. So let's try that. Let's go down to day 10. So you can see day 10, right, our formula is B11 times 2. All right, now let's see how we can do our accumulated value. We're going to do the same thing. What does this equal? Well, we know that it's going to equal this value, right, plus the previous day. All right, let's try that again. It's going to equal this value plus the previous accumulated value. All right, so now let's see what happens when we drag that down. So what it's going to do is, see where right now it's saying B5 plus C4. What it will do is it will update that to B6 plus C5. Watch as I scroll that, drag that down. Let's look at it. B6 plus C5. So let's drag this down to day 10. So let's see, do we want to revise our values? Do you think you'd rather have a penny or $1 million? Let's keep going. Now we've got our formulas right. It's just a matter of copying the formulas down. Let's go to day 20 and day 20. Now it's interesting. On day 20, look at what we have in cell C22. We have a bunch of dollar signs. What that means is, all it's saying is that it doesn't have enough space to display the number. So we're going to widen that. All right. So on day 22, we only have 8 days left. Do you think we're going to beat $1 million? Let's see. Let's go to day 25. Up. Got to widen it. We're getting some serious money now. Let's go to day 25 accumulated. All right. I'm going to make any changes. Now, watch what I'm doing. I'm putting my cursor in between the two rows right here at the top. Notice how it changes. That allows me to widen it, because guess what? We're going to need it. Let's go all the way down to day 30. And day 30 on the accumulated. So, if you said you'd rather have the penny doubled every single day, you would add up to $5,368,709.12. If you were making that a cumulative amount by adding the previous day's total, you would add up to $10 million, or $10,737,418.23. Pretty good take. Hopefully that made sense. You'll see, spreadsheets are very powerful tools.